and bass up the track a little bit, because I want to hear that booms, booms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know the business. Common sense. So with the day.
Good morning, everybody. I find myself on the Duke 690 again. I did a review on this thing about a month ago when we first got it on the fleet. Had basically no kilometers on it, and I'd never ridden it, and I fell in love with it. This and the Duke 390, both of them are now my favorite bikes on the fleet. They're an absolute joy to ride at any speed in the city for booting around, and especially in the twisties. Such a lightweight bike, incredibly responsive, and plenty of power too. It's got a lot of fun power to play with. It's a 330-pound dry weight, which is ridiculously light. 690 cc's, 67 horsepower, and 50 foot-pounds of torque. Plenty of power for such a little bike and such a lightweight bike. Pretty high seat on it. I'm about 5'6", and I'm tippy-toeing it. Comfortable seat though, very comfortable seat. It's contoured, it's got a contoured rear section to it, so it kind of holds onto your butt, and you don't find yourself sliding around or searching for a comfortable position. It kind of just has it ingrained into it. Factory ABS, and the brakes on this thing are unbelievable. Single disc up front, but damn does it bite hard. It's a great braking system on this. This also has the anti-hopping clutch, so it stops any wheel chatter or anything like that in hard downshifts, which really helps keep the bike stable. It also has a 50% reduction on lever pull on the clutch, and you definitely feel it. It's one of the first things you'll notice as soon as you get on the bike is how easy the clutch handle is to pull, and that makes for great use inside the city if you're having to shift or have to hold the clutch at lights and in traffic all the time. Like I said, I fell in love with this bike. It's just, for me, it's the ultimate bike. I'm power hungry, so the Super Duke's probably more up my alley, but this thing has more than enough power to make an amazing starter bike or a good step into the 600s. It's not as fast as, you know, the inline 4s, but it just has its own unique character to it. And being a naked bike, you kind of have your own unique experience. You don't have any wind buffeting at all. It's kind of the bonus of having a naked bike is there is no wind buffeting. You do obviously feel the wind, but there is no, your head isn't being thrown around by what the windshield throws at you. Now, I rode this thing a month ago, like I said, and it didn't have nearly this much power. Now that this thing's broken in, it's way more lively than it was before. Noticeably lively, especially in first and second gear. Even in second gear with a hard twist of the throttle, it'll lift up on you, which is part of the character of this thing. And that anti-hopping clutch does work. If you're downshifting hard into a corner and you're carrying a pretty high RPM into your downshift, it doesn't chatter. It makes for a very stable downshift. Very comfortable bike. The seating position is very upright. The handlebars are high, so you have very little fatigue in your shoulders and in your arms and in your low back. A lot of people claim these to be really buzzy bikes. I wouldn't say that it's buzzy. It does have quite a bit of vibration to it, but it doesn't really translate into the handlebars or through the entire bike in an annoying way. You do feel it, but it doesn't make your hands go tingly or numb. It's quite bearable, and it actually is kind of the character of the bike. I actually don't mind it at all. It's no worse than a twin. You know, it's not as smooth as a triple or an inline 4, but it's not as god-awful as a lot of people say this bike is. It is part of the character. It's a single cylinder. They vibrate. It's just kind of what they do. This would make for a great transition into a 600cc if you've been riding for a little bit and you want something that you probably won't grow out of, but that's going to give you some challenges in riding. but with all the comfort and luxuries you could want. And even if you wanted to venture into the stunting side of things, this is definitely one of the bikes. First gear is basically pure wheelie. Second gear is basically the same. So it can educate you on the stunting side if you ever wanted to get into it. Yeah, it's hard to find anything I don't really like about the Duke series. I wish I had a little bit lower of a seat height just because of how short I am, but that's more so personal. Also, I kind of wish the clutch let go or engaged a little more shallow into the lever. It lets go right at the top. And this thing does not like being in a tall gear at a low RPM. It kind of does this gurgly jerking, kind of feels like it wants to die sensation. But that's fine, you just keep it in the high RPMs where it makes all its power and torque. I kind of wish it had a gas gauge for 2014. You'd think that would be something it would include. And it's kind of a pain to always have to guess how much fuel you have left or wait until the fuel light comes on and feel a bit stranded. But that's really about it. It's pretty hard to find anything I don't like about these bikes. They're so maneuverable, they're lightweight and just move wherever you want them to go, as quick as you want. Incredibly responsive. If you ever have the chance to ride one, I really suggest getting out and taking it for a good ride. And if there's any demo days that anybody allows demos on KTM, jump on the opportunity. You won't regret it, I promise you. Even the 390. The theatrics of this bike are just freaking great. I'm in love with the Duke. Get out and try one, people. You can see my full review. I'll put the link in the bio below. The full review on it's 25 minutes long. It's just me enjoying the thing and talking about it a lot more than I am right now. But check it out. The Duke's an awesome bike. I suggest it for everybody. It's lightweight, it's powerful, amazing brakes, does wheelies like crazy, gets a lot of looks, it rides fantastic, it's comfortable. It's just a cool bike. It's a unique ride and a hell of a fun ride. If you get a chance, jump on it, guys. Thanks. We'll do a roll-on acceleration test for this thing. Yeah? Okay. Oh, this thing's unreal. So much damn fun. I want one. 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 I want one.